What's going on, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get this show started in just a moment. And we're going to get everything started. We're going to definitely talk about some things going on with the Tennessee Titans. We did get some news about a possible idea of who may be starting at quarterback. And also, we're going to get into the Seahawks. And basically, as you can see on the screen, the question is, what do you want to see out of the rest of this season? Now that the Titans are out of the playoffs, the season is pretty much over. What do you want to see? What are your expectations? And that's what we're going to get into. What do we want to see? We'll definitely talk about that in the Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. But go ahead and make sure y'all share this show out. I'm doing the same thing. And we're going to get ready to get this show started and get everything going in less than 60 seconds.
Hope you can still go. I never ran, should've known, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody doing? What's going on, Titan Nation? What's going on, football fans? Welcome into another edition of TNT Tonight. I am your host, Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And hopefully everybody has a very good episode. We're going to have a very good episode on this evening. And we're going to be talking Titans Seahawks as the Seahawks get ready to come to town on Sunday. Of course, the Seahawks got a pretty big win over the Philadelphia Eagles, ending their losing streak and extending the Eagles to a 3-game losing streak, and ending their 4-game losing streak as they are 7-7, and they are still fighting for their playoff lives right now, and definitely trying to stay in the fight. To stay in the fight in the NFC for a trip to the playoffs. So right now, the Seattle Seahawks are just right outside looking in, along with the Rams. The Rams and the Minnesota Vikings all at 7-7 right now, and New Orleans is right there with them. So Seattle very much in the hunt. Very much in the hunt. Of course, the Tennessee Titans not in the hunt. They are pretty much done. They are out of it. They're fighting for draft position. They're fighting for draft position right now. And right now, if we really look at the draft order at the moment, even though there is some strength of schedule things going on right now, the Titans are slated to pick 9th in the draft right now. Slated to pick 9th in the draft. Even though and right now strength of schedule is what's keeping them down at that point. And so, I know a lot of us want to, would rather the team just lose out. And trying to see what's going on with the lighting right now. There we go. Yeah, I'm just trying to fix my lighting right now at the moment. Okay, there we are. So, I mean, again, this is it's going to be a very interesting game because you got two teams going in two very different directions. And so, what do we want to see out of the rest of the season? Because I've been hearing it from a lot of other fans talking about why have I given up on the season, and you don't give up. I mean, what is there to play for right now? But that's what we're going to talk about and everything. But let's see, we got AZ Big, we got Big Dog. What's up, everybody? Parker D, his expectation: lose every game. Big Dog, lose every game. All right, y'all. Had to make a change here for a second. Can y'all hear me good? Let me know y'all can hear me. I'm trying to having a small technical difficulty right now. But can everybody hear me right now? Um y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. And we're gonna keep everything going. But yeah, we're definitely working on that. But the question is, with everything going on, what do you want out of the rest of this season? We're definitely going to get into that. Let's see. Huh. Fade said Vrabel screwed us against the Texans. Texan fans are toxic. Well, the Texan fans, they got bragging rights. They got bragging rights right now because they beat us. Rocky Boy, what's up? Big Dog says fire Vrabel and Kelly. And, others say, Amar says to tank. Parker D says fire Tim Kelly. I mean, here's the thing. If you fire Tim Kelly, you still got Vrabel to deal with. And all Vrabel's gonna do is bring in another guy, he's just gonna bring in another guy like a Charles London or somebody else, that's under him. And basically, it's going to be the status quo. That's basically what that's going to be. This team looks lost, bad coaching. I agree. And so, I might have my computer back up now, but I mean, obviously this season has kind of went down the drain and everything like that, but we're definitely going to talk about that as far as what do we want. I mean, yes, I will want Mike Vrabel fired. And of course, there's a lot of people out there that want to keep Mike Vrabel, that thinks Mike Vrabel is not the problem. And of course, everybody want to keep blaming the roster. It's the roster. It's the roster, and all this and that. And I'm thinking, who helped create that roster? And so that's going to be the main question. And so I think now my microphone might be back. So let's see. All right, there I go. All right, had to come back now. Back in there. But this team is bad. This team, there's a lot of things that need to be done on this team, and we're definitely going to talk about it because I think the thing that needs to be done at the end of this year is get rid of Mike Vrabel, because a lot of people still want to keep Vrabel but want to fire Tim Kelly. Here's the problem with that. Yeah, you could get a Charles London and or Pat O'Hara. The only problem is what's really going to change? Nothing. As long as Mike Vrabel is the head coach, nothing is going to change. Even if you get more talent, Mike Vrabel is still going to be the stubborn mule he's always been. And it will get no better. It will still get worse. So, that's the thoughts that I have when it comes to that. And I think we need to make a change. Because, again, as long as Vrabel is head coach, this team will not get anywhere. I think we've reached our ceiling with him. And I know everybody's, and I've had, there was somebody I called into Caroline Willie D base yesterday, and Willie asked me a very good question. He said, okay, are you worried about Will Levis? Absolutely. But at the same time, I said that, yes, I get continuity and all of that. But if you get a new head coach, if let's say you stick with Vrabel, you're going to have this exact same problem next year. You're going to have this exact same problem. We're going to be in this exact same situation, and you will have wasted the second year of Will Levis. You're going to fire Vrabel anyway. Then you got to get a new coach in a new system, and you're going to be in Levis's third year. And remember, we don't have that fifth-year option with Will Levis. So that means you will only get 1 year with Will Levis, that year with a new coach. Then you're going to have to decide, going into that fourth year, you're going to have a decision to make. You're going to have to decide, are you going to pay Will Levis a bunch of money, or you're just going to let him play out the 4 years? Then you're probably going to have to draft another quarterback. You're going to have to draft a new quarterback. And so that means you wasted Will Levis. Whereas if you get a new coach now, you get a new head coach now, you get a new head coach, you get an offensive coordinator that will work with that offensive-minded head coach. That offensive-minded head coach will call the plays. You have 2 years with Will Levis. You would have next year, in 2024 and 2025, which will be year 2 and year 3, before you need to make that big decision going into year 4. Because it's probably best to go ahead and get a player locked up before that last year of the contract of the rookie deal. So you would get 2 years before you decide that. And then you get an offensive-minded coach that can play to Will Levis's strength, and then build the rest of the offense around him. Vrabel has the offense built around Derrick Henry, which Derrick Henry, unfortunately, could be in his last days as a Tennessee Titan. And yes, we have to rebuild the offensive line as well. Now, some say, well, you can't build an entire team in one off season. Houston seems to have done pretty well in one off season. Indianapolis has somewhat gotten better in one off season. So saying things can't be done in one off season is a bunch of crap. It's a whole bunch of crap. And that's why I say you move on now. The only reason I will hold on to Vrabel until the end of the year is if you have any chance to trade him. Since the national media just seems to love Mike Vrabel so much. And Amar says we need to go ahead and trade him. Well, we can't trade him to the end of the season. And yes, the strength and conditioning coach needs to go too. All the cap money in the world will not attract good talent to the Titans. I agree, especially with Vrabel as head coach. Because, and I did hear about that, Caleb Farley actually practiced. I'm like, why? So, AZ said, I want the remaining players not to get injured the last few weeks. And that is important. That is important. So We're going to talk more about what I think we should want out of this season coming up a little bit later. But right now, I want to know from the Texan game, even though we lost 19-16, who was your two-tone blue star of the week, if there was anyone? I mean, Will Levis had the rushing touchdown. Um, you had there's really not a lot to choose from, to be honest. I mean, we could go with, you could go with the uniform. The uniforms did look nice. Just hate that we lost. So, who is your two-tone blue star of the week? I mean, Danico Autry, you know, um, Danico Autry had a big game, had a couple of sacks. He's up to his career high of 11. Um, I'm even gonna go with Ty Zentner, the punter. I thought he did well. Elijah Bolden, with the pick six, I thought was good. So, nice to see Burks make a couple of catches. So, who was your two-tone blue star of the week? Parker D said we need to hire new coaches and new players, but players will get hurt. Be the same old type. Fire strength and conditioning coach. I agree. Landon says, unfortunately, they're going to give Vrabel another year. And again, I don't get it. Now, I know Miss Amy loves Mike Vrabel. She loves Mike Vrabel. But we also know she loved John Robinson too, gave him a contract extension, and was fired 7 months later. Let's see. Big Dog says Chris Moore. Amar says Danico. Landon says Danico. Parker says Danico. AZ Big says Danico. We got Ian up here. What's going on? Unis look sick under the sun. Big Dog going with Elijah Bolden. Rocky Boy says Autry. Jackie says Autry. I think a lot of people are heading in a little bit of the direction that I'm thinking. The two-tone blue star of the week, I think, is unanimous. Danico Autry is the two-tone blue star of the week because he now, he leads the team in sacks with 11. He leads the team in sacks with 11. I mean, that dude, I know he's 33 years old and he'll be 34 next year. I would bring Danico Autry back. I would bring Danico Autry back on like a 1-year deal, maybe a 2-year deal with an opt-out after 1. I would do something like that. I think that's what I would do. Autry with 11 sacks. We got Harold Landry with 8.5. Big Jeff with 5.5. And then and Arden Key slowly has gotten 5, but I expected more from him. But I definitely think Danico Autry. Definitely deserves to come back. Big Dog says, I would definitely bring Big Jeff back. Big Jeff is already under contract. He's not going anywhere. Mars says, I think it's over for Vrabel, especially if he loses twice to Houston. That's a cardinal sin in the eyes of the Adams family. That is very true. That is an excellent point. Ms. Amy's already pretty much been embarrassed once. You lost to the Texans' third string team where half of their roster was out. You lost to the Texans' third string team in the Oiler uniforms with a lot of Titan Oiler alumni in the house. You lose again to Houston, and CJ Stroud probably is going to be back for that game. And C.J. Stroud is probably going to play in that game. It ain't looking too hot. So we're definitely going to find out. But in speaking of star of the week, who was the dunce of the day? And I think I have an obvious answer. But actually, I got two. I got co-dunces of the day. And I think it's pretty easy. It is Tim Kelly and Mike Vrabel. Complete and utter disaster by this entire team, particularly on offense. This bad offensive line showed its ugly head again. Peter Skoronski probably had his worst game as a Titan, although I'm not ready to give up on him yet. Jalen Duncan, yeah, he ain't that guy. He ain't that dude. Tim Kelly didn't do a good job calling plays. I mean, you had 24 offensive first down plays. You called 12 runs and gave the ball to, and had 15 Derrick Henry touches and didn't really pass the ball. The other 9, you got maybe 2 yards out of that. The other times, I mean, you had negative 2 yards with Derrick Henry running the ball and 34 yards on 9 pass plays on first down. And I'm with you, big dog. I mean, this is why I put it on Vrabel more, because basically, and I said this before, and I said this on the radio before, what problems did we have last year? Offensive line and play calling. You fired the offensive line coach last year. You fired the offensive coordinator last year. What is the problems on offense this year? Play calling and offensive line. Isn't that a coincidence? Is that a coincidence or not? And yet at the same time, nobody wants to blame Mike Vrabel for any of this. Nobody wants to blame him at all because the national media just still loves him. And nobody wants to hold Mike Vrabel accountable because he's the one that put Tim Kelly at offensive coordinator. He's the one that decided to promote Jason Houderling instead of going to get a real offensive line coach. So, and again, Mike Vrabel, including the 7-game losing streak last year, 12-19 in the last 2 years. And I mentioned this. I mentioned this today on Caroline William D. Mason. Brandon Staley had a talented roster. Went 24-24 in 2.5 years. Went 9-8 in his first year, 10-7 in his second year, went to the playoffs, lost to the Jags, went 5-9 so far this year, got fired. Mike Vrabel hasn't won a playoff game in 4 years. In 6 years as head coach, in 6 years has won 2 playoff games. In 6 years. Haven't won a playoff game since 2019. And now you're going to have back-to-back losing seasons. Probably back-to-back double-digit loss seasons. But Amy Adams Struggle is like, that's fine. I love Mike Vrabel so much. I don't care that we've got 2 straight losing seasons. I love him so much, I'm never going to get rid of him. And Mike Vrabel just seems to be just loved by the national media. Any other coach in any other situation, D. May said it on his show. If this happened in Kansas City, you're fired. This happened in Philly, and Philly right now is mad at Nick Sirianni for losing 3 in a row. And they're 10-4. And Philly fans are mad at their coach. But yet, if this is in Philly, Kansas City, maybe LA, if this was in Pittsburgh, any of these other teams, the coach would have been fired by now. But not here in Tennessee because, no offense, Amy Adams Strunk is thinking with her heart and not with her mind and her money. But yet, they want people to renew tickets and buy into the new stadium, yet we might have a sucky product. If Mike Vrabel is back as head coach, are you confident this team is going to do some winning next year? Probably not. Probably not. And so that's why I'm like, you got to move on. Ian says, I'm kind of starting to miss malarkey. Yeah, I'm taking malarkey for granted. Mike Malarkey had 2 9-7 seasons, won a playoff game, and got fired. Not really. I mean, a lot of people will say it was because of Terry Robisky, which he should have fired him. But the main reason is because we know John Robinson wanted to hire his guy. That's why. He wanted to hire his guy. We went 7-10 last year, and we're probably heading towards 5-12 this year. I mean, most likely, if Mike Vrabel is back, Shane Bowen is probably back too. So, again, a coach that had more talent, was supposed to be a defensive guy. This defensive guy sucked, got fired. Vrabel, who's a defensive guy, his run defense ain't exactly good either. And you have back-to-back losing seasons, and you're supposed to be a winner, and you said, we're going to compete for the playoffs, we're going to compete for the division, and you have massively failed. Yet, no blame. Now, Dylan said the difference is Philly's ceiling is much higher than Tennessee's. Backup quarterback, makeshift offensive line, not on Vrabel. How is it not on Vrabel? Who put this offensive line together? John Robinson didn't do that. John Robinson didn't bang his hand on the table for Andre Dillard. Even though I like Peter Skoronski, John Robinson didn't draft Andre Dillard. John Robinson did not bring back Aaron Brewer at $4.3 million, which is stupid. They didn't bring in a backup. He didn't bring in a backup in Darren Brunskill. And he did not go out and go get Chris Hubbard when MPF got suspended. So, how is that not on Vrabel? All of those were his choices. Whose idea was it to keep Craig Ackerman on staff? That was Vrabel. All of this was on him. You can't put it on Rand because it's his first year. Now, Jackie says Miss Amy's not a good owner, but you disagree with me. And I'm not saying that she don't deserve blame too. She does, because she's letting this happen instead of doing something about it. I mean, look, John Robinson, we were 7-3. She fired John Robinson, and she felt she already knew we needed to go in a different direction. Why is she not doing that now? I mean, hey, I told you, if this was happening in Philly, everybody would be screaming for Vrabel's head right now. And the national media be like, Vrabel got to go. And Philly, That is a fan base that they will turn on you in the drop of a dime. You got one shot to do good. And if you do bad at any point, they will turn on you quickly. Now, Rand was here when Diller came in. But again, per Buck Rising of A to Z Sports and 104.5 The Zone, it was Vrabel's idea to go get Andre Dillard. So remember that. But let's quickly go into stock up, stock down, and then we're going to go ahead and quickly go through the Seattle Seahawks. Here are my stocks up. Roger McCreary. Roger McCreary is a dog. Is a dog fighter. Even though he could have came down with an interception in the game against Houston, I like Roger McCreary either playing outside or in the slot because that dude is a dog. Danico Autry, again, career year. You should bring him back. Chris Moore always seems to make the big-time catch when needed. Ty Zentner, the punter, has filled in nicely for Ryan Stonehouse. And Mason Kinsey came in, did what he was supposed to do. He didn't mess up. So those are my stocks up. Stock down. Peter Skoronski. Because he had a bad game. I am not saying I am out on him. Absolutely not. But the entire offensive line stock is down completely. Duncan's stock is dead to me right now. But Skoronski's went down just a bit. Aziz Al-Shire, he's a tackling machine. He's a tackling machine with 137 tackles, but a lot of times finds himself out of position. Tim Kelly's stock is down because very bad play calling, especially on first down. Reminded me of the Jacksonville game last year at the end of the season. Run defense. You couldn't stop Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary ran all over you. And then there's Mike Vrabel, the grand architect of all of this. Again, you cannot blame John Robinson anymore. The roster is bad, but who did most of the selections this time? It was Vrabel. This was on Vrabel. And it is time to move in a different direction. I'm telling y'all, if Mike Vrabel is back here next year, this exact same thing is going to happen next year. And it may get worse. Because Mike Vrabel is not going to do any better. Sure, he's going to try to fight and compete. Sure, he's going to try to win. But it ain't going to look good. He's going to try to win, but you're not going to win. And you basically lost it with Tierra Tart. Yeah, I do hope Colton Dowell gets some snaps because I think he can replace NWI. So those are my stocks down. And again, let me get y'all thoughts as well. But let's get into the Seattle Seahawks. They're coming in again, coming off of a huge win at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that game was coming in off of that huge win to the Philadelphia Eagles. And I mean, that was a good game. That was a really, really good football game last night. 20-17, Eagles win. Jackson Smith and Jigba basically helped win the game for the Philadelphia Eagles. I mean, for the Seattle Seahawks. Seahawks coming in at 7-7, fighting for their playoff lives. They're in the hunt right now. Right now, they're pretty much middle of the road everywhere. Tied for 18th in scoring offense, 20th in total offense, 28th in running the ball, 15th in passing the ball. Defensively, they're 24th in scoring defense, giving up close to 24 points a game, but only scoring about 21 points a game. 28th in total defense, 25th against the run, 24th against the pass. So maybe not great. But Pete Carroll is a pretty good coach. Everybody want to talk about Vrabel. He's such a good coach. He's such a good coach. Pete Carroll's a better coach. And Pete Carroll could outcoach Mike Vrabel. Now, DK, you got a trio of good receivers over there in Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, who is their leading receiver, 56 catches, 942, and 7 TDs. And then you got Jackson Smith and Jigba, a heck of a receiver. Made a big time touchdown catch. I like Jackson Smith and Jigba, and you could have picked them up. On the other side of the ball, a guy that's really coming to his own, I like Devin Witherspoon. I might start him this week because I got the playoffs coming up, and I got to win. I have to win, and I got to face the number one guy in the league. I got to figure out an upset. And I'm going to work on my fantasy roster today and tomorrow. I'm going to win my fantasy league. I'm going to pull the upset. So, Julian Love, the safety for the Seahawks, is really coming to his own. Had 2 big interceptions in the game, 99 tackles, 4 picks. 2 of them in this game against the Eagles, including the interception that sealed it. So big plays for the Seattle Seahawks, which leads me to my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Now, Big Dog says, I hope this is a bounce back win for us. Ian says, I hope we lose out, to be honest. I mean, honestly, yes, it'll be nice if the Titans win, but we'd be better off if we lose out, to be honest. I mean, hey, a win's a win. I get it. Vrabel's trying to save his job. Why? Because I forgot to mention this earlier. It looks like I don't have it up. The news, of course, coming out that Ryan Tannehill, if Will Levis can't go, Ryan Tannehill will be the starting quarterback. If Will Levis can't go. Why is Caleb Murphy not starting as a rookie? AwakenTheEternal.com. They need to take a look at him. Ravens gonna have Tannehill throw All right. Point number one. You got to enjoy Derrick Henry while you're here, while he's here. Enjoy Derrick Henry. Cherish Derrick Henry. Because this could very well be it. It could very well be it. So let's enjoy Derrick Henry while he's here. Because he might be gone. Number two, you got to give Tannehill a chance to throw the ball. And that means just don't get him killed. Give him a shot. And that means getting the ball to DeAndre Hopkins as much as possible. Try to get the ball to Treylon Burks. You're going to have to pass the ball a little bit because the Seahawks are going to try to stop the run. And that's what they're going to definitely predicate their whole game plan to, stopping Derrick Henry. So you got to give Tannehill a chance to throw the ball. But behind this offensive line, I am a bit nervous. Number three, be competitive and show some fight. I know we have nothing to play for. Right now, all we can do is play spoiler. The Seahawks are fighting for their playoff lives right now. They are fighting for their lives, trying to get in. And so they're going to try to run the ball with Kenneth Walker, who is very, very good. We don't know who's starting at quarterback. Drew Lock led them to a victory, so they may go with him. If Geno is healthy, Geno may be in there. Either way, you're going to have to prepare for both quarterbacks and just try to be competitive. And I know Mike Vrabel is as stubborn as a mule, but he's going to try to fight. I'll give him that. And then last but not least, a lot of guys didn't practice today. I don't think a lot of big name guys are going to play in this game. And I think there could be a chance that a lot of young guys get their opportunity. And if they do, make the best of it. Make the best of your opportunity that you get. So again, my Blue Enforcer 4 points to victory. Enjoy Derrick Henry while he's here. He's a treasure. Give Tannehill a chance to throw. Just do something offensively. Get the ball to Hopkins. Get the ball to Burks. Get the ball to Chig. Give him a shot. Be competitive and show some fight. Act like you want to win. Show some fight. I mean, again, you're probably not going to win, but at least keep the game competitive. And number four, young guys, make the best of your opportunity. That's what I would say. Mike Vrabel is showing something trying to hack you. Maybe. He will be gone. I hope so. I hope Henry scores the final touchdown. Spears is getting more reps. I could see that. This is most definitely Henry's last year with us. He said he wants to, and he wants to finish off his career in the playoff. I agree. He deserves a chance to win a Super Bowl. Faye says Levis will play. Well, Levis did not practice today. I don't think he's playing. And I wouldn't play him. I would sit him for the rest of the year. Party, the only goal I have is to get D-Hop to 1,000. I say get D-Hop and Derrick Henry to 1,000. Get D-Hop and Derrick Henry to 1,000. That's what I would do. But at the end of the day, I think the Titans lose a close game, 17-16. I think the Seahawks, they're desperate. They're trying to hold on. They're trying to fight tooth and nail to get into the playoffs. They're trying to get to 8-7 out there in the West. And I think the Seahawks, they're going to ride that momentum from Monday. Even though it's a short week, they got momentum. And I think they got too many weapons on offense, and we're not going to be able to defend them all. And Kenneth Walker could have a nice day. So I do think that the Titans fall 17-16. AZ Big says Seahawks 27, Titans 10. At least Derrick Henry will be in the Hall of Fame because of the Titans. Softens the blow a little bit. I think he'll go in the Hall of Fame too at some point. But I do want to do a shut your pie hole moment. First of all, I want to say shut your pie hole to my damn computer. Because my computer is giving me nothing but trouble. Nothing but trouble. And I can't stand it. It makes me sick. I tell you. Gotta get something. I may have to do something about that. Question is, I don't know what. But also, I'm going to give a shut your pie hole to one Mr. J.J. Watt. Talking about the uniforms and all this, and the Houston fans, you know, talking about all the uniform and give the uniform back to Houston. First of all y'all Houston fans, Texan fans, and J.J. Watt, shut your damn pie hole. The Oiler history has nothing to do with the Houston Texans. None. Y'all are an expansion franchise. Do you see Earl Campbell showing love at Texan games, wearing Texan gear? No. Do you see Eddie George in Houston Texan gear? No. Do you see Jeff Fisher getting honored in Houston Texan gear? No. Not Bum Phillips. Not Mike Munchak, Bruce Matthews, none of that. Oiler history is Titan history. Get over it. Y'all had a win over us. Enjoy that. Enjoy that. That belongs to us. So J.J. Watt, shut your pie hole. Texan fans, shut your pie hole. And deal with it. Vidal says, uniforms belong to us. Exactly. I think this game will be a week 1 type of game. We'll see. McNair either. I hadn't heard that. So shut your pie hole, J.J. Watt. And I might clip this and put on my Twitter and send it to him. Oiler legacy lives with the Tennessee Titans. Damn right. That is our legacy. Just be happy you got the win and be done with it. But everybody, that's going to just about wrap up the show for tonight. I want to say thank everybody for tuning into the show. Again, if you're on, make sure you hit that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, subscribe to the channel. Thank y'all for sticking with me even throughout my technical difficulties and everything. And also make sure you download on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts as well. And I thank everybody for tuning in. Everybody have a very good rest of your Wednesday. And at the end of the day, tighten up. Because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.